Hey, welcome back, everybody. Sarcasm Speaks, Jared and Bob here. I got just a super quick opening thought. It's more of like a wow. I don't know if it's probably more because I'm a bitch, but um, maybe a little bit because I'm older. I mean, I'm not old. I'm only 31. What the fuck? I shouldn't be a problem. But so we last recorded on Sunday, I talked about playing at Acushnet River Valley. I ended up walking 18 on Sunday, which I mean, in hindsight, might have played into some of the poor shots because my legs were fucking shot. Um, I guess the whole thought process behind it because it fucking downpoured and we actually stopped for like 20 minutes in like torrential downpour um, until it cleared. So I was like, oh well, what's the point of really taking a cart when it's cart path only and whatever. Neil was walking, so I was like, fuck it, I'll walk too, whatever. Um, Holy shit. I was crushed yesterday. Like, so obviously, like my legs just didn't really have it through the 18. I mean, I was fine, right? Like I was sore. I wasn't like fucking dragging ass to finish the round. But I was like, yeah, my feet are a little sore, like my legs are sore. And then yesterday, holy fucking doms. Um, Felt like my shanks were about like triple the size of my quads. So
You need to fucking get your affairs in order.
yeah, I know. The last time I probably walked 18 was when we played at Sharon. Was that earlier this year or last year?
I don't know.
Actually, that's not true. I walked 18 at Chamawa earlier this season, maybe in like May. It was one of those situations like I paid to play 9 and I started on the back and I think I played the back in about an hour and 15 minutes and I was like, fuck it. So then I just went and played the front. So I walked 18 there.
You gotta you need to figure your shit out.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I give credit to obviously the pros, right? They walk 18 holes 4 days in a row. And that's also like they play practice rounds earlier in the week too, right? Um, yeah, and some of the courses they play are legit, right? Like here we go, right? If only Tiger could walk, but like Tiger being able to walk at Augusta with a bum foot, like I don't know, man. I can only imagine what that actually must be like.
Well, the cameras don't do it
Oh
justice.
yeah. It's just one of those things, right? Because I very rarely, I would say once or twice a year, right? I end up walking 18 holes. I walk 9 all the time, but I almost actually exclusively walk 9 because I'm not going to pay for a cart to only play 9 holes. But um, yeah, it's one of those things. Like I said, I don't do that often, and then when I do it, it's like, oh, all right. Like it just kind of gives you a little bit more of an appreciation, like I said, for the guys that do it 4 days in a row on like legit golf courses. And being able to swing a club too, right? Like by Sunday, like for them to have any juice left in their fucking legs is like pretty impressive. I mean, obviously they're professional athletes and it's their sport and they've been playing it for years, right? Like I understand the difference, but um that just makes it a little bit more impressive.
You gotta figure your shit out.
Well, yeah, I mean that's not new.
This is insane.
I
Get it, clean it up.
mean, I was fine today.
Just clean it
It
up.
was just yesterday. I was like, oh wow.
Clean it up. Get it together, clean it up. Or you're or you're gonna pull landscaping duty. I don't know. Just figure it out, will you?
It's probably because I got low T. I need to go get on TRT.
Eugenics.
Yeah, so I'll never be sore ever again.
Oh, sounds awful.
No, all your fucking muscle aches and pains
It's
go
literally like
away.
fucking the Dewey Cox thing. It turns all your bad feelings into good
Yeah.
ones.
It really is incredible. I'm probably about 4 years away from like legitimately like going to my doctor and being like, all right, let's do something here.
Doc, gas me up. Well, I
Because
don't know
I,
if you need it. I don't even think I don't know. I don't
yeah,
know either. So, but you know what? Fuck me up. Let's go.
yeah. See, you think I asked you a question. What I really said was
Yeah, I didn't
gas me
ask.
up.
I didn't ask for your opinion.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I feel like 35 is a very reasonable. I mean, 35 is probably a touch early. I think by truthfully, I think by 40, all men or most men, right? Because nothing is ever absolute unless you're a Sith. Um, but I think most men by 40 should probably be on TRT.
Truthfully, I don't know enough about any of that. I just know it's like doctors are so fucking hesitant to give that shit out.
Because there's no money to be made.
Yeah.
And
It's
there's
fucking
this,
it's fucking annoying.
there's the social stigma of testosterone too,
Oh,
right?
I
That
would fucking I would if the process was simple, I would fucking gas up. No, don't care.
well, there's some low grade stuff out there that's pretty fucking simple. All you got to do is just pop a couple pills.
Yeah, I'm not
Like you can get
so
Anavar. You don't need to cycle, like you don't need to post cycle Anavar.
okay. So here's the other thing.
It's the drug of choice for female bodybuilders.
I didn't say I was actively pursuing this stuff
I say all I got to
because
do is
I
make a couple
said
phone calls.
if it was easy. Now, whatever this other miracle thing is, I don't know what the fuck it is. So I don't know what the downsides are. I like that's the thing. I don't know. If it's just testosterone, I know what the deal is there.
Well, yeah, I mean the safest bet is just to inject synthetic testosterone, right? Like
Yes,
that's
in a moderate amount
yeah,
and like just move on.
yeah.
But it's like a whole thing and you got to find a doctor that's morally flexible.
Not even necessarily. You just need to
Morally, okay, so you need to find a doctor that's
you
willing to play ball.
yeah, you need to find a doctor that's not a fucking cunt. Basically.
Have you ever like have you met more than one?
No, I've only met one that's not a cunt, and he's
Exactly.
my current doctor.
Exactly. Fucking worst.
Yeah.
No, it's worse. Doctors are fucking lawyers.
Oh. Probably doctors. I feel like lawyers, you could probably, some of them, right? You could probably hang out and have a beer with them. I don't think I would want to hang out and have a beer with a doctor, right? They're like, what, like, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck are you gonna, like, what are we gonna talk about? Like a lawyer, you'd be like, oh yeah, there was this shit bag that came in the courthouse the other day. You wouldn't fucking believe what charges this guy got racked up. Like those would be fun stories. Like, is a doctor gonna come in and be like, oh, I saved someone's life the other day
It's like
performing open
awesome.
heart
Wow.
surgery? Cool.
Congratulations. You did your fucking
Yeah.
job.
Where's the fucking confetti from the ceiling, buddy?
It's
Like, I
not
don't
yeah,
give a
if you
shit.
wanted a fucking award, you wouldn't have been a doctor and then you would have saved lives.
Yeah. The real people you want to hang out with in the medical world are the ER nurses because they get the cool fucking stories. They're like, oh, this dude rolled in with 4 fucking gunshots and
I
like
would
we
say
had to do
ER
everything we could.
nurses,
Yeah.
city EMTs.
Yep. Yep.
I was talking to one of them. He was talking about the frequent flyers. And like so I was training a woman. She's like, "Oh, we had to bring my son to the emergency room. He might like broke a finger or something. Like nothing
Yeah.
crazy." She goes, "We get there and there's this lady just like on the floor, just like freaking out." And from the corner, the kid looks at her and goes, "When were you at the ER?" She goes, "Saturday." He goes, and he describes the woman. She goes, "Yeah, that was her." He goes, "Oh yeah, we dropped her off. That's Wanda. She's a frequent flyer." It was basically like we drop her off, no one listens to her, and then she tires herself out and moves on.
uh Classic Saturday night at the fucking ER.
Yeah, Brockton Hospital.
Yeah. Well, that was like Jake from Bridgewater.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
he
yeah.
worked in he was an ER nurse.
Yeah, it's like yeah, I mean, again, it's like, especially ER nurses, because it's like all you're doing is like fixing the most fucked up, or you're doing the best you can with the most fucked up of situations presented to you.
Right.
So it's like literally, like if you could look at it like it's a stressful job, or you can look at it like, listen, anything I can do for this person is fucking gravy. Like, like I'm guessing 75% of the time, the person that's presented in the ER, like real ER, probably like should be dying or something.
Yeah.
And provided they don't die, it's like, that's a good day. And if they do die, it's like, man, I wish they didn't show up like that.
Yeah.
Oh well, on to the next one.
And then you
Eh,
get a retard like me that shows up with like almost a degloved finger
Yeah,
sitting there like, why am I not getting any service?
yeah. Well, there's someone bleeding out over here, so you can wait.
Shout out to Framingham Fire Department. But yeah, I mean, I don't even know how we got there. Talking
Uh,
about doctors and lawyers. I think I would prefer to hang out with a lawyer.
ugh.
Depends on
I
what
don't,
kind of lawyer, right? Like,
they all suck. They really do. They all suck.
oh, you said 7 words to me. Here's your bill.
Well, not even that. It's just like oh god, they're so annoying. Like this, like that's the thing about lawyers. Everyone's like, oh wow, lawyers are so smart, so respected. You know, they charge this much per hour. They're all illiterate. Like, why do you think legal documents are so fucking hard to read? It's because they don't know how to fucking write. Now they hide behind this idea like, oh well, it's intentionally vague. Yeah, well, there's fucking spelling errors all over this fucking thing.
Yeah.
That's not vague.
Yeah. When
That's
you write
fucking
a 46-page, 20,000-word document, like, are you really taking the time to check for spelling errors?
well, you know what? I mean, if it's 2023, the computer does it for
Oh,
you.
it should. Yeah.
Like generally you don't spell like, building wrong. There's a U in there.
There is a U. Bidden.
Like these guys are fucking illiterate. Like I have never read a legal document that was free of grammatical or spelling errors. And then it's intentionally vague on top of it. So you're sitting there being like, wait a minute, is this like supposed to be like that? Because I mean, a lawyer did write this, and it's like, they're charging a shitload of money. But like, I'm pretty sure this sentence is incoherent nonsense. Like, not intentionally vague. I'm pretty sure that this sentence contradicts itself
Yeah, this is not a complete thought.
and doesn't end. The sentence doesn't end. You may
Yeah.
as well have just wrote and period.
But period.
Like, fuck.
Yeah.
They're so annoying too. Oh god, they're so fucking smart.
Oh, I went to law school.
Yeah, awesome.
It's funny because I saw this thing the other day, or not the other day, like maybe a few weeks ago, that said that the lawyer profession could potentially be one of the first things that gets kind of attacked by AI,
No way.
which is funny.
No way. Because that shit is so not like formulaic. Like lawyering cannot. I
Well,
promise
no,
you.
from the legal document side, they actually like there's legitimate.
Oh, you're talking like contracts and shit. Like then,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
if you do contract, oh, okay, maybe
yeah.
that.
There's like legitimate um scaredness, fright. There's fright,
It would be called fear.
fear.
Fear is the word you're looking
Yes,
for.
yes, that's the word.
You're speaking like a lawyer writes right now.
Yeah. um there's actual fear from like the lawyering world that AI is going to take away the ability for them to write any contracts because it already does it like very coherently and very well.
Yeah,
And
but that's not
AI isn't like super advanced yet.
how the hell. So how the hell can you pass off legal documents that are coherent and well written? That's not like I'm serious. You can't have that. That's not like allowed.
Yeah, like there's a lot of people that go to like Chat GPT and they're like, write me a contract for this with these parameters for, if it's like a real estate contract, a real estate contract for this house that costs this much in these parameters in this zip code of this state, and it will like generate whatever it needs to, and it's pretty fucking good. Like it's not 100%, but like
Truthfully,
AI
though,
is still really super new. Like
you
5-10 years from now, like it'll probably be pretty fucking spot on.
actually one of the parameters you could give is have like no less than 15%
Yeah,
grammatical and spelling errors.
yeah, you could do that.
Because then that way now, yeah, no, we're absolutely like on point.
Yeah, and it'd be like a legitimate lawyer.
Yeah, but you still need, yeah, but that's only like guys who do contracts. Yes, they do contracts, but like that's generally only a small part of what they do.
Right, right. No, I
Because then they
I
have
know
to
that.
argue and or defend the fucking contracts,
Yeah,
which a robot can't do that.
right.
So that's why ultimately like the profession is safe, but a piece of the job might be gone. Yes. So
Yeah,
then yes, okay. So it's like if you're a firm and I don't if you say you have 14 lawyers and like I don't know if that's a lot or a little or whatever, and say like three of them generally just kind of like do contracts, and then like some of the older guys like argue them or whatever, or defend them or pursue them or whatever. Yeah, I mean maybe those three guys are out of a fucking job,
right.
but I don't know, whatever. Less lawyers in the world is probably a good thing.
Yeah, I can't imagine the more lawyer like the
Sorry,
more
Mike.
lawyers. Sorry, Mike. But
Just don't
like,
do contract law, Mike. Just
yeah,
do real law.
yeah. I think he is I think he I don't know what law he's in now. It might be real estate, which I was gonna say real estate law is probably the place to be. But I think he wants to work for like the DA or like
Yeah,
just be a prosecutor for the state or something.
yeah, because that shit going nowhere.
Yeah, yeah, which that's pretty sweet. So like trial law isn't going to be replaced by an AI.
Yeah,
Like, what are you going to do? Have a fucking robot stand at the front and like develop coherent thoughts?
no,
Like, that's not going to
no,
happen.
that doesn't work.
Um,
Because then all it takes is one idiot. Like, dude, like that's the thing is like robots, like AI and robots are not idiot proof. They're like
right,
the stupidity in the world will undermine
right,
the best of AI. Like
right.
Elon Musk is not gonna be able to figure that out. He's too smart. He needs like a fucking moron on staff to be like so like when he comes up with this like super brilliant idea or this super brilliant algorithm or he's got like fucking rocket scientists like figuring this shit out, he needs a guy that's literally fucking brain dead to like not really beta test, but like find the holes in the argument where it's like
Yeah, idiot test.
yeah, here's this super like thought out whatever. It's like, yeah, but like whatever. And it's like, how the fuck do we even respond to that?
Yeah, you need someone who's going to represent all the idiots.
It's too hard though, because the idiots they just keep they keep one upping themselves.
They really do.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like that's the thing is like I'm a stupid fuck and I can't even keep up with these people. It's kind of
Yeah.
wild.
Not at the expense of sounding like an old man yelling at a cloud. It also almost kind of feels like the younger people are, the dumber they are.
No, I'm telling you, the older people, they do not get enough credit for how stupid they are. They
Yeah, but I
don't.
feel like they're stupid in a different way, right? Like old people,
Truthfully, it's a more dangerous and more
well,
concerning
yeah.
way.
Yeah, like so old people are stupid because they don't understand how the world currently works. They're still like wrapped up in how it was 40 years ago. But like young people are stupid because they're just fucking stupid and they don't know anything yet.
Yes. But
You
the
know,
other thing
like
is like adults, and I'm not even talking, I'm not even like, I don't even mean like old. I'm talking like anyone 40 or above, 45 and above. It's like they want things to be a certain way and they just like can't comprehend when things don't go their way. Like they're like, that's what I mean is like they are children.
yeah, yeah,
They're children, but put in a position of like some power
right.
or like some level where they think they earn respect, but they haven't. It's fucking insane.
I mean, we
Absolutely
certainly see
idiotic.
that in the political world.
I saw it at the bank yesterday.
I think that's just more people being fucking pieces of shit.
No, this is pure.
I don't think
So
that has to do with age. I think you can find pieces of shit like of all ages, right? Like as far as like your example of when something doesn't go their way, they turn into a child. Like I don't think that's age restricted.
no,
I
because
think,
it happens with everyone.
well, yeah,
But there is a time. There is a time when and I don't know what the exact like age range is. There are a few windows where it's like, oh, I really need like whatever. So you call up whoever and it's like, oh man, that's just not how that goes. It's like, all right, cool, man. Like, goodbye. Like, now obviously individuals are like that too, but there is a time like in your life where it's like you don't have the fucking capacity to argue anything. And it's like say you call up the bank, like I don't know, I don't even know what the fuck I saw at the bank yesterday. The fucking guy, like dude's like, oh, I always withdraw money, but I can't figure out how to fucking enter a pin number. It's like, how the fuck do you always withdraw money if you can't enter a pin number?
yeah,
Like, so I always withdraw money. It's like, what the numbers, dude? You have to fucking put in a pin to withdraw money.
yeah.
That's
That statement it sounds like a lawyer wrote it. It contradicts itself.
oh my god. Yeah, at least that, yeah. And that one has no that has no fucking point to the statement either.
Yeah.
Like you can't figure out how to put your fucking pin in, but you always withdraw money. Those things cannot be true. Both of them simultaneously cannot be true. No, but even if it's like I don't again, bank might be a bad example, but it's just like, you're trying to figure something out and it's just like, oh yeah, well, I can do this, that, whatever, man. Moving on to the next one, and I'll fucking figure it out later because I do not have fucking time for this shit. But then there's like always windows of time where people are like, well, but like, can't we like do this? And it's like, no, actually, we can't. I don't know where you came up with that. I don't know why you think that's a suitable solution. No, we absolutely can't do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I figured we'd be able to do that. No, I don't know. Again, I don't know where you came up with this shit.
Yeah, but I really need it to happen because it would be convenient for me.
Yes. And I want you to make that happen.
Yeah.
And
This
yet I'm
scenario would be convenient for me, so you need to do it for me.
and yet we're all being inconvenienced by this phone call, but I'm going to extend it anyway. Fucking craziness.
Yeah. What do you think what do you think is like the sweet spot for like being alive? Not to have like a hits blunt moment or anything, but as you were talking about that, like being, and we were just discussing like people are too old or fucking stupid and people are too young or stupid. Like, what do you think's the sweet spot for like in general? Because there's always going to be fucking retards at any stage, right? But I would, if I had to guess, right, I would say, or just kind of like use my best educated guess, I would say 35 to 55. I think that 20-year window between 35 and 55 is like probably when you, I can't even say, I want to say peak, but like you're not at your physical peak because your physical peak is probably like between 25 and 30. But you're at least like mentally. So I maybe everything but physically, you're at your peak, right? Like, because you're clearly smarter at 35 and 40 than you are at 25, right? Like, you're still capable of doing physical activity, right? I feel like once you get to 55, 60, for most people, things might start to fall apart.
I don't
Obviously,
know.
there's going to
Some of
be
us at
exceptions.
31 can't walk 18 holes.
Well, yeah, I know. Obviously, there's that too. Again, I'm retarded. I am part of the problem. Um, but yeah, and then like once you get past 55, I feel like there might be some cognitive decline a little bit. But for some
So
people, and I'm talking in like generalities here.
I think generally speaking, the window's a lot tighter. I think it's more like a 36 to like 43 because that's going to be a time when you're probably fairly established in whatever job you're doing.
Well, that was the other part too, right? Like
You
financially,
like
you're
financially is probably okay. You
yeah,
probably have some sort of schedule that you're kind of maybe used to a little bit, even though no one's schedule is ever like said,
right,
understood. Um, Most of the time, you're at a point in your life where you don't really have a lot of time to be an idiot. Um, Whether you
it's
have
true,
kids or don't have kids, or you're busy with like you don't have time to do stupid ass shit.
right,
Like you don't have time to go to the bank and fumble around with your fucking PIN number. Like you don't have time for that shit.
right,
Like
right,
you don't have time to go to the country club on a Tuesday at 4 o'clock to bitch about the fucking beer. Like
yeah,
if you're going to the country club on a Tuesday at 4 o'clock, you're probably playing the fucking only 9 holes you can, and I hopefully your fucking phone doesn't ring.
yeah,
Like that's like the type of because when once you get like a little older than that, the kids become like if you have kids, they become a little more self-sufficient. So it's like you have a little bit more time, kind of.
yeah,
But then it's like they also start moving into like maybe not like real stuff yet, but like trending that way. So then it's like they start having real problems. And then it's like your view of like all that shit gets skewed because it's like, oh, you're having this problem at school. And it's like, if I had told you about some other 13-year-old randomly having this problem at school, you'd be like, oh, that's fucking stupid. But when it's your kid, now it's like, well, I gotta
right,
that's I feel like that's when things get goofy.
yeah. I can see that. So yeah, 36 to 43. I guess I did have a
That's all
pretty
you get.
broad window.
That's all you get. No, because by the time you're 50, then you start moving into like you're a little bit like you're not old, but like you're a little too old to like live in reality. Because then you start expecting things to either be a certain way or the way that they used to be
Oh, this is the way they've always been.
or the way that you imagine them to be. Yeah, it's like you start having like delusional expectations like after 50.
Yeah. What do you mean I can't just bring my car to the mechanic? What do you mean I need an appointment?
Yeah, shit like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never needed an appointment.
Or the barber
Well, you
shop now. Like people bitch and complain about the barber shop now because they all or some of them they use appointments because it started with COVID, right? And
yeah,
then they just kept it
my
because
barber
it
does appointments. He doesn't take walk-ins anymore because he's fucking full all the time.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, what do you mean? I've never
Yeah,
back in my day, we could just walk into the barber. You know, like shit
yeah.
like that. I
No,
could
you
see.
can. You just get fucking Dave,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the guy that's always available.
Right, right,
You can
right.
have him. Well, I don't want him. So what do you want here?
Yeah.
Yeah, or like, yeah, it's like, oh, you need an oil change? Yeah, make an appointment. It's like, oh, usually I just drive up and you guys can like do it. Well, you can go to like a Jiffy Lube or a Valve. Oh, I would never go there. So do you want to make that appointment or
Yeah, so the next
what?
opening I have is next Tuesday at
Yeah.
11:15.
Well, I kind
Oh.
of need one now. Don't know what to tell you. Oh, I'm supposed to drive to New Hampshire tomorrow. It's like, how
Yeah.
I don't want to do that without an oil change. Like that's the type of shit. Like,
Yeah, people always wait for the last minute for that stupid bullshit too.
you ever fucking drive by a place that does inspection stickers?
Oh yeah.
Do you ever like notice when they're fucking jammed and when they're not?
Yeah, the beginning and the end of every month.
Every month.
The middle of the
Every
month
No
There's
one's
no
ever
one
there.
there. Yeah.
You know what's even better? Like the 20th.
Yeah.
Because everyone looks, it's like first, they're like, I'm ahead of the game, I'm on it. Or fuck, I missed it by a couple days, I'm on it. And then some people will be like, you know what? I've seen that first of the month. I'm going for the 15th. That'll show them. And there's still some cars there, like 15th,
Yeah.
whatever. I mean, this shit only takes 10 minutes anyway. Ain't nobody there on the fucking 23rd. And that's the other thing. Like I don't know. Like the oil, like I'm thinking like cars and shit. Like the place I go to now, luckily it's next to work, but I'm like, I'll just leave you the fucking car. I go, if I drop it off at 8, can I have it back by 1? Yeah, no problem, man. Like,
Yeah.
whatever. Like,
Yeah.
okay, here you go.
Right.
Oh, do
One
you need
car,
anything?
please.
Nope, back to work.
Yeah.
I left the fucking kids lifting right now. Yeah, the inspection stick. Yeah, it's all that same shit. It's like when I talk to my mother. Like, so she's like getting work done on the house. She's like, oh, I can't believe how messy the guys are. I'm like, yes, that's because my father was the fucking sneaky neat. But he cleaned, so he always cleaned up when he was doing shit. Sneaky neat, because the counters and shit were a disaster. The floor was always clear, so it's like
Right.
that was like his little way of being
Right.
like, oh, you got to clean up in here. Yeah, all you did was move everything from the floor to off the floor. So you're not fucking fooling anyone on that. Same with the shed, like the workshop. Yeah, like I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not as organized as you fucking make
Yeah.
it. But he would always like clean up. So it's like, I'm like, I already know. Like, she's like, oh, they could just like kind of make a mess. Like they leave shit around. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, that's because like you want it clean. He would have had it cleaned. He would have cleaned up after. Like, that's the thing, is like he would clean up after workers. I already know he fucking would, because he wouldn't want the shit left around.
Right.
The way they see it is the job ain't done yet. When the job is done,
right,
and they are done not coming back to this house anymore, 90% of it will be clean.
Yeah.
Like, that's my expectation.
Right. Right. Yeah, like I got work going on there. I got guys building a patio outside, and there's just kind of like shit all over the place, right? Like they left the Kubota. The Kubota is literally sitting in my backyard. It's been in my backyard for a week. Like they clearly didn't. They also didn't leave the key in it because they're smart. Because I definitely would have taken that thing for a fucking ride. But just drive through the backyard on a fucking Kubota. Probably drive through my fucking fence. Do something stupid.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, there's pallets of fucking bricks. There's like mounds of dirt. There's wheelbarrows. There's fucking hammers. There's shit everywhere. But it's like, okay, they're going to be back tomorrow.
Yep. They'll be back tomorrow. They're not, like, the project isn't done yet.
Yeah. I mean, when they're done for the day, they like, I don't want to say neatly pile their shit, but they gather all their shit into one central location. It's not like shit strewn all over the yard.
No, because it's chaos.
Right.
Yeah, that's like that's like the shit my mother bitches about.
Yeah.
I'm like, Ma, it's just not gonna go that way. They are not gonna be clean. Like they're not gonna be completely cleaned up every day.
Right.
By the end of the project, if they're completely cleaned up, that is a massive victory.
I would agree with that. Yeah. So yeah, 30, what did you say? 36 to 43. There you go.
Yeah, I gave 7 years.
There's your golden years. Those are the real golden years. In other news here, in the race to the bottom, Massachusetts said, wait, I want to get in on this, right? Like mostly it's been between California and New York on the race to the most shittiest fucking place in the country. Well, Massachusetts was like, hold my beer. I'm getting into this because the other day, Governor Healey, which I keep forgetting that Charlie Baker isn't the governor anymore.
He's the NCAA king now.
Yeah, he's the king of the college.
Looks good underneath his rule too.
Yeah. But yeah, so Governor Healey, shouldn't even spell it the right way either. Idiot. She has come out and gave a like press conference and press release, whatever, requesting that people in local cities and towns in Massachusetts open their doors to house illegal immigrants.
Yeah. So here's what we're not gonna fucking do. That.
Yeah. Yep. So there is precedent here, right? Like the New York City, the mayor of New York City, what's his name? Eric Adams, I think. He did this already. He did this like a couple months ago. Remember, he said he was going to pay people in New York City to house immigrants. We didn't go that far, but the governor's office says the state has placed more than 5,500 families in 80 different communities across the Bay State. With a growing number of migrants coming in, Governor Healey is expected to announce a plan that would involve seeking emergency federal aid, according to the Boston Globe.
This is an emergency.
Yeah, the declaration would allow the governor to call up the National Guard quickly, and it would enable her to quickly hire contractors to build shelters or rent places for people to stay.
We need an I need a lawyer. We need an interpretation on the Third Amendment, which I believe is like quartering soldiers. I think that's the one, because on Twitter, the First Amendment always makes fun of the Third Amendment. I think the Third Amendment is like
it is
like in times of war, like quartering soldiers.
It is, yeah. And then the Fourth Amendment is search and seizure.
Yeah, so we need I think we need an interpretation. I need a lawyer to go to bat to like somehow make this become like a 3A thing. So now people can start bitching about that amendment now. Because like 1, 2, and 1, 2 are obviously big ones. Obviously there's some like fucking slam dunks in the middle there. Like,
I mean, the 19th Amendment is up for debate.
What's 19?
I think that was women's right to vote.
Yeah, I was gonna say there were a couple slam dunks, like allowing women to vote, allowing minorities to vote.
Yeah. The 21st Amendment was fucking retarded, but it got repealed by the 26th or the 27th Amendment.
Oh, cool.
The 21st was prohibition.
Ew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I forget what undid prohibition, but I think it was either 26 or 27.
I think we need to somehow figure out how to make this a 3A issue. I would love for fucking the Third Amendment to make a comeback.
Yeah.
That would be fucking crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that is definitely one that doesn't get a lot of spotlight.
No, why should it? It's fucking great. It's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it would never work, but like I really need someone somehow to fucking rekindle the Third Amendment.
Yeah, we need a lawyer to make some kind of argument that like because the state is demanding or saying or whatever they're doing and it's similar to this and that, and therefore ipso facto,
although we're not at times of war, this is the exact same scenario that we're trying, like tyranny or something.
Well,
like,
since it's a state of emergency. We have to
call war a state of emergency.
We have to enact the Third Amendment.
That's the other thing. This is not an emergency.
No, it's not.
This is retarded. I've fucking said it. Like anyone who's listening knows what I'm about to fucking say. I will never understand the illegal immigrant thing. I will never or whatever we're fucking calling these people now. Undocumented. Is that what we're calling them?
Nah, they're illegal. That's fine.
Okay.
There's a legal
aliens
process.
or immigrants.
I'll allow either. Alien sounds
it's kind of offensive to the actual aliens, though.
Well, yeah, that's true too. So we'll go immigrant
because they are immigrants. It's just illegal, and there's legal and illegal.
There is a legal process in place for people to immigrate into this country, and they don't follow that. Therefore, it is illegal, which by definition means outside of the law. So they are here as immigrants outside of the law.
I will never understand it. I will never, ever, never, not once understand the illegal immigration thing. Like it makes no sense to me. I don't get why it's okay. I don't get why I need a passport to come back into this country, but they can just come and it's cool. I need a social security number for fucking anything. They don't. I will never understand
Right.
the illegal immigrant fascination because that's what it seems like to me. It seems like a fascination. And I don't understand who's to benefit from. Like who benefits from this? And I like
Well,
and how? I
depending
genuinely don't
on
know.
depending on who you talk to, um, some people think that it is more to benefit the Democrats because they're allowing these people in and they're kind of like shooing them into the system so then they can vote for them. Right. So, like, the thought process behind it. Now, I'm not saying I agree or disagree with this, but just this is a fact, right? The thought process behind it, according to some people, is that these illegal immigrants would say, you know, Governor Healey allowed me to enter the country illegally into her state. Therefore, if and when I can become a citizen and vote, I am now going to vote for the Democrats because Governor Healey's a Democrat and she's the one that let me in. It's a very flawed,
I would
semi
say because
semi retarded
doesn't
logic.
citizenship take like a while,
I
and
believe so. Yeah.
wouldn't theoretically all new people be running by the time these people became citizens?
Yeah, but it's the party thing, right? It's because everyone is lockstep in the party, right? It's more of they'll be more likely to vote Democrat. And
So
then you
we
have this
expect a
other
bunch of a bunch of immigrants from wherever. I'll just say like South America. That seems to be the easiest way to get here.
yeah, yeah,
So a bunch of immigrants from South America make their way here and they're supposed to give a shit about your political party.
right.
Like we're that naive to think that like they give a fuck about that.
Yeah,
I
so
think they're going to be more concerned about earning money.
yeah, there's a lot of really shady shit that goes on with all that too. There's I mean, I don't know if any of them have passed, but there have been some pushes to allow illegal immigrants to vote in like local elections and shit like that, which obviously is a slippery slope, right? Um, but the Drinking Bros podcast did a whole big episode on this with Dan Holloway. I forget the name of the company, but there's like legitimate photo evidence of immigrants that have crossed the border, you know, uh, what would appear illegally. And um, they're not government employees, but they're people that act on the government's behalf for a private company, right? They're private contractors contracting with the federal government. And they pay these people, these immigrants, money. They like hand them an envelope full of cash and like information and shit. And they just like open it up and disappear and do whatever it says in the envelope. This has been proven. Like I said, the Drinking Bros did a whole episode on this. Um, there's a lot of really sketchy shit that goes on that like people don't know and people don't talk about. It was a long time ago, so I forget a lot of by a long time ago, I mean, it was anywhere between like 6 months to a year ago when they did this episode on it. So I'm fuzzy on a little bit of the details, but this is a legitimate thing that's been proven, right? Like there have been people that have gone, it's all happened. A lot of it happened in airports. And there were people that went up to these people and like videoed them. There's video evidence of some guy in like black dress pants and a black t-shirt holding a bunch of manila envelopes and like wristbands, and he was like handing them out to some of the immigrants that were coming. And like,
How do they get on a plane? Like this,
well, that's where all the other sketchy shit
I'm
comes into
like,
play.
I don't get
Like
it.
in the
I
envelope,
never
in
will.
the envelope is a plane ticket, right, with cash and information and shit like that. It's
I don't get it. I
yeah,
never will. I'll
yeah,
never get it.
it's a lot of, it's very very weird. I I wish I remembered what it was, but I'm sure if anyone that's listening or watching, if you're interested in learning more about it, if you just Google, um, you know, Drinking Bros immigration scandal or something like that, you might be able to find it. You might have to do a little bit of digging, um, but it's out there. It's a very very interesting episode. So, um,
It's funny because it's almost like in the same week that I think Woohoo was talking about cleaning up Methanol Mile.
yeah.
Now we're just allowing the illegal immigrants to come in and do whatever they want.
Oh, I think I found it. I just Googled what I told you all to Google, and it's Drinking Bros Fake News number 170. And the title of it is Biden Funding Illegal Immigration. So I'm pretty sure this is the episode where Dan Holloway talks about it. And then he also did like a separate episode that I think they talk about in that episode. So yeah, check it out if you're interested, for anyone that's out there. It's a real thing.
Never understand. That's okay. Because I don't care to understand either. So luckily, since I never will, I don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
Or try to.
Yeah, but will you open your doors and let the immigrants stay in your house, though?
Fuck no.
I think one of my favorite things about that situation is, so they're all coming through in Texas, right? And Governor Abbott was like, well, fuck this. I'm going to start busing them to all of these people that are saying, oh, well, you should let them in. You should let them in. You should let them in, right? Because they don't live on the border. They're not a border state. So they're shipping them to Chicago and New York. And for a little while, they were sending people to Martha's Vineyard. Do you remember that?
Yep.
People. And what's been the response? It's been like fucking like cookie cutter response from every single blue city that these immigrants have been shipped to. It's been, whether it's the mayor or the governor or whoever of that area of where they got sent to, well, we don't have the infrastructure to support this. Like we can't be doing this. We don't have the infrastructure in place to support all of these immigrants. We're not Texas, right? Like that's always their excuse. We're not Texas, as if Texas has the infrastructure to deal with illegal immigrants. They don't either, bitch. Like nobody does. That's the whole point of them being illegal immigrants, is that they don't have somewhere to be because they didn't follow the legal process to get here. Therefore, like you said, they don't have a social security number. They don't have a passport. They don't even have a green card. So like, how do you set up a bank account? How do you get a job? Like you can get a job and just get paid cash, but that severely limits the jobs you can work, right? But like, that it just blows my mind, right? They're like, oh, we don't have the infrastructure to handle all these people. We're not Texas. The fuck does that supposed to mean? So you're fine with them coming in as long as they don't send them to your city. That's what you're saying, right? Yeah, let them all in, but don't let them in my city. My city can't handle them. We don't have the infrastructure. But all those other places, yeah, that's absolutely, yeah, just let them go there.
I like the pettiness. That's beautiful to me.
For anyone that like can follow this situation somewhat closely, right? Like you don't need to follow it very closely to understand the bullshit that's going on with it. So like anybody that can follow the situation like with any relative, closeness and still can't see the bullshit behind it, they're either lying or they are like making a concerted effort to ignore it. Right? Like it's one of the two options. I really don't think there's another one. Like, because I mean, a viable option would be someone that doesn't pay any attention to it, that just says blindly, well, yeah, we should let them all in, but they know nothing about like what's going on with it. Like I'll at least allow that, right? Like you're a moron, but like you don't know any better because you don't follow the situation at all. You just blindly say, yeah, of course we should just let them all in. But like anybody that says that and actually is informed about the situation, like I said, is either lying or they are going out of their way to not see the obvious things here. Because it's pretty fucking obvious. So, oh, this is interesting one too. Have you seen the shit that's going on in Maui? Or was going on, the wildfires?
Yeah, it's on fire.
Yeah. So Maui was on fire. This one, this is what I think is super interesting. And I think there's potential for this to have blowback in the future. And I'll explain that in a second. But so obviously Maui, there were some wildfires on the island, completely destroyed the city of Lahaina. It's gone. It's burnt literally to the ground. Which is unfortunate because it's a really cool city. Like everyone that's been listening to the show long enough knows that that's where we went on our honeymoon. We went to Maui. We stayed in Kapalua, but I mean, it's close enough, right? It's a fucking island. We went all over the island. So devastating, right? People are dead. There's like people missing. There's houses that are ash now. Like there's nothing left. Businesses are gone, all this stuff. So President Biden came out and had a press conference like today, I think it was, and said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go and we're going to support Hawaii. We're going to give every household that was impacted by the wildfires $700.
What are they exactly supposed to do with that?
Because they care. Because the federal government cares so much about people's lives and homes and the devastation and everything being gone. They care so much. They're going to give every household, not, let me make it clear, not every individual, right? Every household, right? So if 6 people live in a house, it's one check for $700 because the government loves you so much and it cares about you for a total bill of $1.6 million with an M. $1.6 million will be dished out, $700 per household to people that were affected in Maui. Isn't that fantastic?
That's helpful.
That's like unbelievable, right? Like I can't believe that they were so generous with that.
I have multiple $700. Maybe I'll just go to Maui and I'll just like start a new life because all it takes to have a life or a household is 700.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, you may or may not have heard that in the same day, Biden also requested $20 billion more for Ukraine aid. So, we can send another $20 billion to Ukraine, literally on the other side of the world for a war that does not concern us after we've already spent tens of billions, right? We might be in the hundreds of billions at this point, but certainly in the tens of billions of dollars. But all we can spare for the residents in Lahaina is $700 a house.
Why don't know what they should do is just put the defense companies in Maui and then they can get all the money they want.
Yeah, if Raytheon opened up an office in Maui, there would be.
I hear the real estate's cheap right now.
Yeah.
Or, non-existent.
Yeah. So, I mean, if that isn't fucking disgusting, I don't know what is. Right? Like, I don't even have anything like witty to say to that. Right? Like, that's just gross. In the same day that Biden requests $20 billion to go to Ukraine, he says he's going to give $700 a house to people in Maui for a total bill of 1.6 million. The government fucking misplaces more than $1.6 million probably in a fucking week, right? Like, remember we covered a story about how like there was just an accounting error that like there were like tens or millions of dollars that they were just like, oh, wait a second, like where is this gone? But the best they can do is 1.6 million for people that have literally lost everything, like their home, their pets, their food, their clothes.
I don't get why you don't take care of your shit at home.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
So what I had said before when we got to this story is why I think it's very interesting, and I think it could potentially have some repercussions down the line. Is I could very easily see this coming up on the campaign trail, right? Like it's most likely going to be Trump who's the Republican candidate. But do you think that Trump is going to let Biden off the hook for this? Not a fucking chance. He's for sure going to bring it up. He's going to be like, oh, you spent billions of dollars in Ukraine, but you could only spare 1.6 million for US citizens after a disaster in Hawaii.
When does all that shit start ramping up?
Probably like January, February.
Yeah. It's going to be super annoying. Like this, it's going to suck, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think the Republican primaries start in either January or February.
Fucking insufferable year.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be Trump at this point.
Truthfully, I'll be busy, but
yeah, I will too.
Well, no, it doesn't matter. That's the thing, though. It doesn't matter who it is or what. It's just it's gonna be fucking insufferable. Like two monkeys throwing their shit at each other will fucking make more sense than these fucking morons.
Yeah. Yep.
I'd actually rather the monkey's opinion.
I think I would too. If it was a chimp, I would prefer a chimp. I think they're
Give me the fucking dumbest one drooling on himself.
The bonobo.
Like not only throwing shit at another monkey, but like also eating it or something. Give me him. I'd rather his opinion. Because at least he's a fucking monkey at some point. These guys are supposed to be like leaders of the country, and all they are is fucking morons.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
It is like too bad. Like I'm not looking for a world war, but it's like I do like it was nice back in the day where it's like you would have like this massive like global like war, like a real one. And like the generals would be like next up for president.
Yeah.
And it's like now you just have these fucking squids.
Yeah. Yeah, you have career politicians, right? Like Biden.
Yeah, but even the ones that
has
serve
been in politics
aren't
for
like
50 years.
The ones that serve, it's like dude, like Ulysses S. Grant was like fucking front lines of the fucking Civil War. Like,
right.
You can never have that again. I understand that was like a million years ago.
Yeah, I mean Eisenhower was in Europe.
Yeah. Was he was probably the last one.
I think he was the last one.
Because like I understand that others have served and
as far as former generals go, Eisenhower was the last one, right? Because Bush was in the Air Force or something, or he pretended to be in the Air Force for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, like I know McCain never got the nod.
Right.
But like
well, he did, but he lost. He lost to Obama.
That's right. Never got the nod to win. But
right.
But yeah, I mean, like, we're supposed to have like leaders of the country, and all these people are just fucking dumbasses.
Yeah.
Sucks.
It's like we've gotten to the point now where it's like the people We need someone that doesn't want the job to have the job.
Pretty much.
And it's like,
Haven't we said that? Like, if you want to be a politician, that should disqualify you from being a politician.
yeah, I think we've said that in the past. That sounds like something that we've said.
That definitely sounds like something I would say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Rule number one: do you want to be a politician? No. You're still in the running. Fuck, I'm gonna be like fucking.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the fucking top candidate for fucking one of these positions.
It's like when you get jury duty and you're trying to like strategically answer the questions to not have to do it, but they select you anyway. Like, ah, shit.
Yeah.
I really didn't want to be a politician. Well, you're the perfect person for the job.
Worst part is I'm describing myself.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, ultimately, that's kind of what it comes down to, right? And I mean, that's another thing to pull on the Drinking Bros and Dan Holloway. He says it all the time. He was like, but it's a saying from someone else. I don't know, like Sun Tzu or whoever the fuck, Confucius. It was like those, it's like those who want power rarely deserve it. And those who deserve power rarely acquire it, or something like that is the saying. But it's true, right? Anybody that wants to be in power most likely doesn't deserve to be in power.
I'm gonna rephrase that. Anyone that wants to be in power is a cunt.
Yes. That's a perfect rephrase.
That's what I'm going with.
Yeah.
Hey, we don't even need another part of that statement either.
Nope.
Not important.
That's it. Just that. Anybody that wants to be in power is a cunt.
Yep.
Yep. All right. With that said, you want to wrap this bitch up?
Yep. We can wrap this up.
All
so, yeah. At work, occasionally I go to the dollar store. I get the little Renews It air fresheners, which are very clear. You open up the little cellophane thing. You spin the top a little bit. It allows some of the smell out. If you open it all the way up, it rips through it pretty quick. But you just raise it and it kind of like whatever. So a couple times, I'm like, I don't know if it fell or what, but like the top would be popped out of the thing. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck happens to these things. So I don't know what it is. I don't know why it is. I can't put a camera in the bathrooms. I don't know who. I don't know why. I don't know what the fucking methodology is. Someone shuts the air freshener in the first bathroom on a very consistent basis.
They don't want to smell it.
How long are they in the bathroom?
That's what you need to do. You need to start timing who's in the bathroom the longest, and that's probably the person that shuts it.
I'm just like, why? So this is my thing is, number one, why are they shutting it? Now, an easy one's to say, oh, it's like, oh, well, they don't want to smell it. Who cares?
Yeah, how much time are you spending in that bathroom?
Like, that's the thing is like, I can barely get people to throw paper towels in the trash, yet they'll close the air freshener. I cannot figure out why. Like, why is this air freshener closed consistently?
Is it always the same smell?
It's always the first bathroom. No, it's the different smells.
Oh, because I was going to say that would eliminate, well, maybe this one person in particular doesn't like this one smell, but if it's always different.
But like by closing it, all I'm going to do is open it once I see it.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty fucking dumb.
I usually like piss in the back. So it's like I don't use the front two bathrooms like overly often. So it's not like
right.
I'm like on top of this day by day. But it's like one of the more mind-blowing things that like because it's like I don't expect things to make sense. Like or the only things that make sense are things that make no sense. So it's like this week, so 2 days, Chris is out this week. So far in 2 days, we've had 3 walk-ins.
Of
We
course.
haven't had a walk-in since June when I was in Pebble Beach.
Of
People
course.
only walk in when someone is on vacation.
Yep.
And it's generally at inconvenient times.
Yep.
But like the air freshener thing is fucking blowing my mind. Like, why is someone shutting it? Why is it always the first bathroom? Like, am I missing something? Am I missing something here?
I don't think you are. If you are, then I am also.
Because the other thing too is I know it's not staff because there's only 4 of us that work there and no one gives a shit enough.
Right.
And any staff would go, oh, well, I don't love the smell of this, but whatever. It's so that it doesn't smell like fucking a bathroom.
Right. Right.
So it's not staff. Could be the other entity, but I don't see why the fuck they would why the fuck would they do that? And the second bathroom generally isn't closed. So it can't be them because then both bathrooms would have air fresheners closed.
Right.
It's only the first bathroom.
Right.
It's the oddest thing.
Maybe there's a ghost in the first bathroom.
I would fucking love for there to be a ghost. That would actually make my life a lot easier. Hauntings would surprisingly, that would make my life a lot easier.
Yeah, a ghost that doesn't like the
Oh, I can't find my
air
woke
freshener.
I can't find my way card. Well, you think the ghost took it? What ghost? Obviously the building's haunted, like
Yeah.
or maybe the company's haunted. It came from the old building. Like, what do you mean? So, yeah, the air freshener thing, man. I don't get it. I don't know who keeps shutting the thing. Because obviously, when you shut the thing, no smell comes out. Like if you hated the air freshener that much, why wouldn't you just throw it away? Like, I'm not digging through the trash for an air freshener.
Right. Right.
Like, I don't understand the methods. I don't understand the motivation.
And it's one thing too, right? Like it really doesn't make sense because if you don't like the smell, right? And you're in there and you shut it. First of all, you're not in the bathroom long enough for it
For
to
the
make
smell
it
to go away.
for the smell to go away.
Still gonna smell.
And second, wouldn't it be then the courteous thing to do to reopen it when you leave?
Here's another thing. I don't know about you, but you go into a public bathroom. Now, I know it's my place of work, but it is a public bathroom for all
I ain't
intents and
touching
purposes.
it.
Are you touching shit in a public bathroom?
Nope. Nope. I am touching
Like,
the least amount of things that I can.
yeah. Like, I barely want to touch stuff in there. Like, why? I will never, I am, it's one of those, I'll never understand it. And you know what will happen too? Because it's like, it's happened enough now that it's like, obviously I'm talking about it now. It's pissing me off. I'm going to fucking bring it up to somebody and they're going to be like, oh yeah, I've been shutting it. Like, why? Like, why the fuck have you been shutting it? Oh, like whatever. And I'm like, that reason doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
They're going to be outside that age range too. They'll be fucking 44 years old.
I was just going to ask, do you think it's a kid or an adult?
I don't
feel
know.
like I feel like it would be an adult.
I don't think it would be a kid because
I don't think it would be a kid because I don't think they give a shit enough.
No, and I don't think they touch things.
Yeah.
That like whatever.
Yeah.
I think it would be an adult that would be like, oh, I want this to be a certain way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like whatever.
We
were talking about earlier.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's been consistent throughout the year. There's only a handful of kids that are year round. A lot of them are more seasonal.
Right. Right.
I don't know. I opened it back up today. We'll see tomorrow.
Should put a sign in there. Please don't close.
I'm not mad. Like, I might leave a sign and just go, I'm not mad. I'm genuinely curious who and why is closing the air freshener?
You leave a second piece of paper and a pen taped to it. Like, please
Like,
explain your methods.
just shoot me an email. Like, because again, I could care less, but I don't understand it. It's mind blowing. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, who is to gain? No one. No one's to gain.
Yeah, I don't get it.
There's
Right.
no
And
reasoning for this either. There's no logical reasoning for anything.
yeah.
Like even a leap.
And like I said,
Because
too,
like you said, if you don't like the smell of the air freshener and you close it, the smell is still in the bathroom.
right. And
Unless you're now, no one does this. Unless you're in the bathroom for like an hour and a half taking a fucking conference call,
then,
it just doesn't make any sense.
yeah. Yeah. And I mean, the only, like I said, too, like if you put it down, it would make sense to just pull it back up when you leave.
Stupid.
Right. Knowing that the purpose is to make the bathroom not smell like a bathroom, right? You don't want it to smell like shit. So, like, you closing it is going to make it more likely that the bathroom does not smell good.
Yeah, it's gonna smell less like raspberries.
Yeah. A little less like raspberries, a little more like urine and fecal matter. Like, yeah, it's just, I don't know. Like you said, doesn't really make a ton of sense, right?
Makes no sense. Precisely 0 sense.
Yeah. Yeah, precisely 0 cents is probably the best way to look at it. All right. So for my final thought, let's see if I can find it here. So over the weekend, there was some, I guess you'd say, outrage from some people, but there was a lot of like, oh my God, I can't believe this, whatever, about Phil Mickelson. Yes, the golfer, also known as Lefty.
Yeah, you do your thing. I'll be prepared. I'll get my rant going pretty soon.
Yeah, for betting on sports, right? For betting a large amount of money on sports. And someone put out like he made, he made whatever it was, like fucking 110,000 wagers or whatever. And in one day he lost you know, $400,000 or something like that. And over a certain amount of time, he bet over $1 billion, and people are just like losing their shit over it. And it's like, I look at that, I don't really give a shit, right? Like, also put it in perspective. Phil Mickelson is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. So $110,000 to bet on a football game, that's just like Ian Mack. Shout out to Ian Mack Bets, friend of the show. You can get him on Twitter, wherever his Bacon Bets podcast as well. He like quote tweeted it and like put a reply on it, and he goes, all this tells me is that Phil has a unit size of $110,000, and that like in one day he lost 4.5 units or something like that, which isn't that bad, right? If he lost 400 and something $1,000. But like to jabronis like you and me, that's a lot of money, right? Like that's more money than we make in a year. But to someone who's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, $110,000 is nothing, right? So I don't know. There was a lot of outrage. There was a lot of bullshit around it. There was a lot of like gasping, oh my Godding, all this bullshit. But it's like, first of all, what the fuck do you care, right? How much he bets on sports. And second of all, he clearly has the fucking money, right? So what's the problem?
So, couple things. Obviously, so this information comes, Billy Walters is doing a book. That's where this is coming from. If anybody was paying attention, this is not new information.
No.
Did you listen to the Phil book from Alan Shipnuck?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I did too.
He used to
It's
gamble with the announcers in the booth.
it's all there. Gary McCord.
Yeah.
Gary McCord was throwing fucking balled up 20s down to him.
Yeah.
The story where the line mover, where Nikos is calling him the line mover now.
Yeah.
That's not from Billy Walters' book. That's from Alan Shipnuck's book.
Right. Right.
Like, yeah, you go, yeah, oh, you guys go bet first. I might move the line. Like, like this is not new.
Right.
And then the other thing is, oh my God, Phil bet over $1 billion. He wagered over $1 billion. There's a key fucking word in there because Billy Walters is not fucking idiot.
Right.
Wagered.
Yeah.
Understood that that's still a lot of money. But that's only $100,000 bets.
Right.
For wagered. Now we do know that he was down about 40 million at one point. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But like I believe that was the prevailing number, is what he was down was 40 million. I don't know if that was from Shipnuck's book or if someone reported that. I don't remember. So if you want to know, it's like he didn't lose $1 billion. He didn't bet $1 billion. He made a series of bets where ultimately he was down like 40 million and he climbed out of it. So like, I don't know what you want from the guy.
Yeah.
And then whether he bet on the Ryder Cup or not, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't know why the fuck he would. It's a shitty bet to have to make. Like, it's not good odd. Like, it's not good. Like, that's
right.
just like.
Right. I saw some fucking jabroni tweeted and was like, oh, Pete Rose was kept out of the Hall of Fame for gambling. Should we remove Phil from the PGA Hall of Fame? And everyone in the comments was like, buddy, go fuck yourself. Right. Because, and everyone in the comments basically either said some combination of go fuck yourself and or Pete Rose should be in. So like no one was on board with this fucking loser. I don't even know who it was.
There is not a golfer in the Hall of Fame actively playing. There is not a single one of them that has not gambled on their sport.
Yeah. I mean, look at Titanic Thompson. That was
not a single one. There's not a single one of those guys that has not gambled.
Yeah.
So if Phil's out, there is no Hall of Fame. They're all out. Like Lee Trevino's famous thing. He goes, there's no worse stress than playing for $20 when you only have $5 in your pocket.
Yeah.
Like, he fucking hustled people his whole life.
Right.
As a kid, whatever. Now, are we going to look into his amateur status from his $20 wagers at some fucking whatever the fuck country club? Like,
some club in the Midlands of Texas.
I don't know where the fuck he's from. Probably Texas.
I think he's from Mexico.
Yeah, I think if he's not from there, he is of Mexican descent. I'm fairly certain.
Yeah, because he played against Titanic Thompson in the book, and they played in Texas with Byron Nelson. They were all in the same.
Byron Nelson was like Dallas-ish.
Yeah, they were in the same area.
Hogan was
Hogan too.
DFW area.
Yep.
Colonial.
There was one of them. Shit. I forget in the book what now, but he kept chasing one of them because he wanted to play against one of them, but he never did. And I don't remember who it was.
Sounds
might have been like
Hogan.
I think Hogan was the guy that Titanic Thompson really wanted to play against, but he never got the chance to.
I would guess Hogan would be the hardest one to get his hands on.
Yeah.
Unless it's someone completely different too, but
right.
Yeah, the Phil stuff, like, number one, who fucking cares? Seriously, who fucking cares?
Right.
Second,
we don't unit shame.
We already knew. We already knew this.
Yeah.
We already knew this. Yes, I did not know his unit size was 110 on, a minus 110 line. I don't care. What the
Yeah,
fuck do I care?
right.
Give a shit. Like,
He's got the money.
I don't care if he doesn't.
Yeah, that's true too.
Fuck him. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Because, like, oh, it's like, imagine, it's like, oh, Phil's living on the street, lost everything from gambling. Sucks to suck, dude.
Yeah.
But looks like he's doing all right.
Yeah, seems to be fine.
Seems to be fine. Speaking of, did you see him and Bryson did a 9-hole match on YouTube on Bryson's channel?
No, I didn't.
Go watch that. It's worth it. It's
All right.
Anirban Lahiri and Bryson against Phil and Cameron Chingali.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check it out. It's just on Bryson's YouTube.
Yep.
All right. Did you say it was a 9-hole match?
Yep.
Huh.
It's at the live event.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Not the Greenbrier.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check it out. All right. Well, that is going to do it for us. Thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to click subscribe up top, those buttons up there. Tell everybody you know about the show. If you're an audio only guy, you can still subscribe, obviously, wherever you're listening. If you use Apple and or Spotify, I guess just or in this case, it wouldn't be and. Either one of those, you can leave us 5 stars and a review. So go do that, please and thank you. Keep telling everybody you know about the show. You can get us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. We're on Twitter at Sarcasm_speaks. Facebook is Sarcasm Speaks. Website, sarcasmspeaks.com. Go to the merch store, buy some merch. While you're buying some of that shit, you can go to the link in our bio on Instagram to get all of the latest affiliate codes that we have. So the first one we have is mybookie.com. Use the promo code SarcasmPod over there to double your first deposit up to $1,000. Then we have Noon Brew again, as you can see, just about every episode. I drink it almost every night. It's a great nighttime sleep tea. Helps you sleep a lot better. Trust me, it works. I use it all the time, so it's great. I wouldn't push it if I didn't believe in it. I certainly wouldn't use it if I didn't like it and didn't think it worked. So check those guys out at noonbrew.com. The promo code is in the show notes below, or again, you can use the link in the Instagram bio. And lastly, we have the Ice Pod. So you can go to their website, theicepod.co, I think it is. And the promo code you get there, either in the notes or the bio link, will get you $10 off your purchase over there. So until next time, good night, everybody.